I just wanted to show you some of my harvest from this summer. I just got back from being away with my mom and dad, and some of my garden was a little overgrown, but that's okay. I found that I grew a small eggplant, very small, has a little bit of sunburn on it, but otherwise it's going to be wonderful. I'm going to do some grilled eggplant, zucchini, and yellow squash. So this will be one of the things I grill. Lots of lettuce. So this is just romaine. It's a little overgrown, but it should be delicious. This is regular lettuce with a little bit of red on it. I'm going to put some lemon with these to help absorb the iron from them. I have a few chives, a little bit of purple basil that was getting a little sunburned and turning green and brown, but it's purple basil. It smells wonderful. My overgrown snow peas. Supposed to be flat, but they're overgrown. The peas are grown in them, but they're delicious. They're delicious. Even though they're overgrown like this, they're great for eating just raw. So I have a few of those. A little bit of mint somewhere in here. I just picked a little sprig because I love mint tea, so I'm going to make a little mint. And I'm probably going to add a little bit of grated carrots, grated beets, some hummus for a dressing, or some tahini lemon garlic dressing. It's going to be a great salad. So that's what I'll be doing with my harvest of the day. I recommend doing your dressing before you make your salad because you won't want to make it at the end. At the end, you want your salad to be done. And to start with the dressing at that time is a little bit frustrating, actually, for me. So I like to start with my dressing. And today I'm going to do something that's got a little bit of zip to it. So I want to do a Thai peanut dressing. You can use peanut butter for this as long as it's creamy and doesn't have a lot of other ingredients other than maybe peanuts and salt. I wouldn't use one with any sugar in it or added oils. You really don't need that. But if you don't want to use peanut butter, or you don't have it, or you're just allergic to peanuts, you can use almond butter. Again, just make sure it's creamy and has very little other than salt added to it. Tahini is also a really good option for this dressing. So something like that. If you had cashew butter or walnut butter, you could use that too. Just experiment a little bit. And this is going to be a pretty basic dressing. I'm going to modify it the way I usually do for things that I don't have. And I've just gotten the peanut butter out. You can either warm it in warm water, or you can warm it for 30 seconds or so in the microwave. It's about a half a cup of peanut butter, and I'm just going to put it in my mixer. This is my little personal blender I use. You can put it in a mason jar or any kind of mayonnaise jar, whatever you're going to mix, and shake it up. That's another way to do it. You'll just want to make sure that whatever nut butter or seed butter you use is pretty soft. Otherwise, it won't mix really well if it's cold. And so to warm it a little will soften it and make those ingredients mix better in your container. So that's the peanut butter. This basic recipe is from, I should tell you, Give Me Some Oven. That's what it is. GIMMESOMEOVEN.com. Give me some oven. But it just sounds delicious. That's why I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's just using creamy peanut butter, half a cup, a little bit of fresh lime juice, 2 tablespoons, which I don't have. So I'm using lemon juice, which I just did freshly squeezed from my little juicer. I'll take that lid off. You can see nice and freshly squeezed lemon juice. So 2 tablespoons. Now I'm going to probably adjust that a little bit because first of all, I like mine a little bit lemony. And secondly, I might want to add a little bit more because I don't have the rice vinegar, and that's the next one is rice vinegar. I have white wine vinegar, and probably that would be delicious in it. So we're going to try that. If we need to adjust it with a little more lemon later, we will. In fact, when you make anything like this, because it really is your creation, you need to adjust it to taste. So if you like it spicier, use a little bit more spicy ingredients. If you like it sweeter, I don't tend to like mine really sweet, so I might use less sweetener. In this case, they're saying to use 2 tablespoons of low sodium tamari or soy sauce, but I'm going to use, this is 25% lower, less sodium tamari. Sanjay makes this. So it was 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, white wine vinegar, and in this case, tamari. And then I will use 1 tablespoon of sweetener. In this case, I'm going to use honey. Although my honey is a little bit solid. It's raw honey, so it kind of solidified a little bit. That's okay. No big deal. And what'd they say? 1 tablespoon of sweetener. I do have maple syrup. I probably could have used that also, but just see if I can get this out easily. If I can't, then I might be going to my maple syrup to use. Whoa, this is pretty solid. Yep, I might just have to bite the bullet and go use the maple syrup, but I'm gonna use approximate. This is like approximately a tablespoon. It seems to me I got it out, so let's put that in along with a little bit of the rest of that peanut butter. Peanuts, no, I've probably said this in the past, but they are not a nut. They are actually a legume, which is a bean or lentil type of food. And I think a lot of people that have peanut allergies are actually allergic to the fungus that we sometimes find on foods like that. And I think that's actually fairly common that somebody might react to peanuts because of the fungus that might be growing on the shells or something like that that gets kind of into the peanut bag. They say 1 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. I'm not going to use added oil, but it would be a good ingredient to add sesame seeds. I don't have the oil and I don't have the sesame seeds, so we're going to not use that today. A teaspoon of sriracha. Now, sriracha is a hot, sweet sauce, but I'm going to just put a little bit of cayenne for the little bit of sharp taste. And I have to use very little of my cayenne. Apparently, I got a really strong one when I bought this. It must have been the extra hot brand of cayenne from my bulk food store. They had low, medium, and high hot cayenne, and I think I bought the high. A clove of garlic. Now, I have my frozen grated ginger and grated garlic, and I'm just going to use approximately, for the ginger, a 1/4 teaspoon. So I'm just gonna break off a few pieces. 1/4 teaspoon ground ginger. That looks like only about half of what I need. Let's put a little more. Ginger is super good in dressings. Feels good to me. And put that back in the freezer. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of garlic, and they say roughly equal to 1 clove of garlic. So same thing, I'm just gonna break off a little bit of this grated garlic that I put in my freezer, so I didn't have to do this every time. Oh, that's very convenient. And a little bit more. I like garlic too. Go to about 1 clove, and my cloves are big, so I put about a teaspoon of that. These both go back in the freezer to be used next time. So now, 1 to 2 tablespoons of water. I measured this out as 2 tablespoons. We're going to go ahead and put the lid on. Ooh, lid. Things evade me here. Don't have a lid. I found it.
It's in it.
Sorry. It was in it. You're right. You just never know. We're going to plug this in. See how that works. Should be on nice and snug. Quite enough. We're going to try it again. Now, I'm going to test it. I don't know if it's mixed completely, but I am going to test it anyway. It's pretty thick. Wow. I don't think it needs anything. I could actually use a little more cayenne. I'm going to put a tiny bit more cayenne, but not much. It's so good. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. I just know I have often gone overboard with my cayenne because you just can't trust it. Oh gosh. I don't know. I guess I could put a little more lemon in it too. A tiny bit more lemon and a tiny bit of cayenne, but it's very good. You won't have trouble adjusting it to taste, I don't think. I'm just adding a little bit more lemon because I have it and I like the lemony taste. So this is going to be such a great dressing for my garden salad. I'm very glad I did this. Make it so enjoyable. Yeah, that peanut butter sticks, so you know, you might want to warm it more than I did, but I warmed it for 30 seconds and it was, you saw, it was kind of thick. But any of these nut butters get very thick and they'll kind of settle in your blender and it'll make it hard to shake up. But just keep at it, experiment a little, like I always tell you. Find something that you love to put on your favorite salad and enjoy. I'm gonna go ahead and make the salad. Let's get these ready. Whenever I'm filming anything I make, it always takes me 2 to 3 times longer to make it than if I'm not filming it. So I always have to eat something ahead of time because I usually make something like this when I'm hungry and I can't wait that long to eat. So I have to eat a snack ahead of time, which I did in this case. I ate a little bit of a summer soup, vegetable soup. It was really good. Like a gazpacho. Maybe at the end of the summer, I'll make a gazpacho. I think it would be really good. I'm going to just grate these 2 things in my food processor. Make it quick. So a little bit of cilantro from the garden. I chopped that up. I grated the carrots and beets. Neither one of these are actually from the garden, although I did have some beets I probably could have used from the garden. And the green onion I had already chopped. There's a couple little tomatoes. These are really tiny, but I really love these golden colored tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes, they're so sweet. It's really worth growing a little plant of those. We don't get a lot of tomatoes in our garden. If I get any this summer, I'm probably going to get them from the farmer's market because they do a much better job than I do. The lettuce is all chopped and ready. I just put it through the lettuce spinner. And I'm just gonna kind of layer a salad. I like the idea of keeping these separate, especially if you have somebody who's not so sure about whether they want carrots or beets in their salad, like children. Children like things to be separate so they have a little more control over what they're eating. But, you know, it's always nice to make a salad bowl and just layer those things around. And it gives a lot of color. It looks really good. And then we'll put our dressing over it at the end here. So I'm gonna make a couple of bowls of salad for my husband and I, and then show you what that looks like. I had 2 other things. Oh, this is the basil. I chopped that up. And when I chopped the parsley, I'm gonna also chop up the rest of the pea pods into little bite-sized pieces. They will be really yummy in the salad. And a few chives I have here from the garden. I'm going to use those. I also chopped up the mint. It's in with my little bit of cilantro and other herbs there. So, yep, we're just going to chop these into bite-sized pieces. Yes. You know what? I really didn't talk about these peas. These peas, they're supposed to be those little thin pea pods, and they got overgrown while I was gone. So They're a little bit thick, but they are delicious. They're just very juicy and have such great mild flavor to them. Really worth putting in this salad. That one's a little bit yellowish. I think we're gonna eat it anyway. And just kind of put it in bite-sized pieces. We can do tomatoes in this salad too. I love tomatoes, but I'm getting to the point where we just need to eat. We have hungry people here, myself and my friend Larry here, my husband. And just gonna chop these a little, getting ready to put in. Assemble this salad. I just thawed some great northern beans that I had cooked up and had in the freezer, so I'll be putting that on for protein. You can put a grain too, like if you have some brown rice especially that's already cooked, or if you have another grain like wheat, rye, barley, any kind of grain you could put in this. I'm gonna assemble your salad, honey. We'll do 2 here. So let's just sprinkle some carrots. And more carrots here. And some beets. Yeah, I kind of think if you do it in, like, if you assemble it in like sections, that goes over really well with people who are a little less likely to eat, you know, a mixture. I'm gonna do the pea pods. Let's just put those in right in a handful here. I'll mix this one in so you can see how that looks. This will be mixed, and this will be, now I can see why they do it this way on the internet. They do it in sections. I will put these little tomatoes. What am I missing? All the herbs. Oh, I know, the beans. Need to put the beans on. These will go on that other one. Oh, basil and mint and chives. It all smells so good. The cilantro from the garden, I love it. A little bit of green onion. Okay, I'm putting them together. So these are the beans. A little bit frozen still in the middle, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of a helping in the middle here. That way you can mix as much or as little dressing as you want with that. I'll do it in the middle here too. There we go. I should have cut some tomatoes, but I didn't get to that part. Shake up my dressing one more time. A generous serving of dressing for both. And voila, we are ready. So keep in mind, your protein is going to be from your beans. If you need more protein, add a grain to this, like a whole grain of wheat, barley, rye. You could even put whole grain oats, but that'll give you some extra protein there also. And then the other thing we do have is a peanut sauce, so that's going to be another protein and a little bit of oil. So not bad. It's delicious. Take some time and experiment with that kind of dressing. I think you'll love your salads more and more as you do that. When you find dressings that just really bring out flavor, especially things if you enjoy a little bit of lemony or spicy flavor, it's really good with greens, especially greens that might be on the slightly bitter side. They need a little bit of lemon or a really good vinegar to go with them. All right, bon appetit. We will see you in the next video.